Okay, good morning ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second Assembly meeting of the Citizens' Assembly on Drug Use. I'd also like to formally welcome members of the public who have now joined us online to watch today's proceedings. One of the key challenges we've been set in our terms of reference is to understand how do we reduce harm caused by illicit drug use. And in doing that, we've been asked to understand the experiences of individuals, of families and communities, and to take cognizance of that. I do believe, and I can say in advance, I think today is probably going to be the most innovative, creative, brave and courageous Assembly meetings that's ever been held as part of Citizens' Assemblies. And I say that with great confidence, because we have 16 to 17 people here today who are brave and courageous and sharing their experiences with us to help us in our deliberations. So the first thing I want to do in advance is to extremely thank these contributors who are going to contribute throughout the day to share their experiences with us. They have unbelievable experiences to share with us, and the reason they want to share their experience with us is to make things better, which I think is hugely commendable. I also want to thank in advance the Lived Experiences Group, who have been working with us throughout the past few weeks to put together today's conference and bring together from their advocacy people who will contribute today. So today will be stories that you will experience, that you'll hear of trauma, adversity, stigma, marginalisation. But you'll also hear stories of resilience, courage, strong courage and inspiration, and resilience, strong resilience from people that you'll hear. You'll hear stories from women and men, from fathers and sons, mothers, daughters, grandmothers, grandfathers, grandchildren, sharing their experiences, which represent communities and families all across the country. In terms of the types of harm, we know there are many types of harm that you'll hear and you'll experience today. Some of it can be physical, some of it can be psychological, some can be from intimidation, stigmatisation, some will be from people entering a criminal system that maybe not have needed to. So you hear various types of harms. You'll also hear experiences of people who believe that they have used drugs or know people who've used drugs who didn't incur harm from particular drugs. And it's important we hear those voices too. It's also helping us today, I believe, to understand and get a better insight why people might use drugs. And I think that's an important consideration as we move forward in this whole process. You'll hear strong stories and experiences I've just mentioned as to why people feel from trying to avail of the services they experienced further stigma, further traumatisation and further discrimination in many cases. The reason we need to do all of this today, and thanks to our contributors, is for us to try work in the following Assembly meetings to start to think about now solutions. We all want to reduce harm, we all want to make things better in society, and part of today's deliberations will help us form and shape our thinking in coming Assembly meetings about what solutions we can put forward in our recommendations. Also part of the weekend, as you'll know, we have some really interesting and I believe will be very beneficial site visits to people who are providing services, organisations providing services to people suffering with addiction. Many people will visit Coolmine Centre in North Dublin, and many people will visit Merchants Quay, Ireland, two fantastic centres providing services to clients. You'll also, over the course of the weekend, see some good videos and an opportunity to see some videos, not just in the formal presentation here, but throughout tomorrow, where you can informally go and see some further videos. And indeed, tomorrow we'll have some really good information stands for you to walk and talk to people and get some idea of the services. We've already briefed the members just on the self-care that is available throughout the weekend, and I would encourage, I think the key message Anthony said, it's okay not to be okay, and we have services and support for everybody. And I'd also say to members of the public that we do have supports. If you look at our Citizens' Assembly online, there's reference points there for various organisations who can provide support if people are not feeling too good. I just want to remind the tables again around the guiding principles, which are at your table again, but you had a good discussion on this the last time, and it's really important for us that we allow that discussion to take place at the table. We allow the openness, we ensure respect at each of the tables, we ensure different voices are heard at the tables, and the facilitators will work with you to ensure that that's the process. But I would ask everybody to work hard on the guiding principles. It's important everybody's listened to and every voice is respected. Finally, closing for myself, just to close out a few just housekeeping updates. First of all, after the last Assembly, we sought members to put forward their names in terms of working with us on the steering group. And I'd like to formally thank all the nominees we got through, and we formally agreed the steering group, and the members are here today. Thank them, which is Ciara Moynihan, Graham O'Neill, Angela Rosseva, Helen Carty, Bill Lonergan and Niamh Shortall. We've already had 2 meetings with the steering group, and we'll all gain our legs in designing of the future Assembly meetings as well. The Assembly work programme, which we presented to you the last time, the draft programme, we have updated based on your feedback, so that's now online as our outline programme. I will state it's iterative because we will change and adapt as we move through each Assembly as appropriate. The Secretariat are finalising the responses. There was a huge amount of questions last time for various amount of agencies to respond on, so we're waiting on some feedback from some agencies, and we will collate all of that, and you'll see it online for all the responses. And finally, for myself, just to say, the public submissions are open now to the public. It opened last Thursday, and it is open until the end of June. I'd encourage all members of the public to put forward submissions. It's important for us that we hear a wide range of views. Thankfully, we are having a real good uptake. We've over 350 submissions made since last Thursday, and I've worked on public consultation processes in various guises before, and that is quite phenomenal. So we want to encourage those submissions to come through till the end of June. So thank you very much for your attention here today, and I look forward to working with you all over the coming couple of days. Thank you.